Playwright David Mamet, who wrote Glengarry Glen Ross. I haven't seen the whole movie, but I have seen that Alec Baldwin always be closing speech. It's pretty legendary. So surprised that he's a right-wing reactionary. He maybe says the quiet part a little bit too loud when talking about teachers in general in regards to don't say gay legislation throughout the country, and this particularly in Florida.
But we have to take back control. If there's no community control of the schools, what we have is kids being not only indoctrinated, but groomed in a very real sense by people who are, whether they know it or not, sexual predators. Are they abusing the kids physically? No, I don't think so. But they're abusing them mentally and using sex to do so. This has always been the problem with education, is that teachers are inclined, particularly men, because men are predators, to pedophilia. And that's why there were strict community strictures about it. Thank God. So this started to break down when the schools said, you know what, we have to teach the kids about sex. Why? Because what if they don't do it at home?
And this is exactly it. All of these people who want to, like, whether it's Joe Rogan or like a Substacker saying that parents have the rights to, like, against anti-CRT. This is all basically saying parents should have the right to say abstinence-only education is the only one we're going to teach at the school. Like this is just a new version of that discredited argument.
Except, though, that he is a bit more explicit in saying that, one, men are predators in particular, and that teachers are quote, inclined to pedophilia. I mean, one, they're targeting gay teachers there. Male gay teachers is what he's largely referring to. But it's an effort to undercut teachers in general. And this is worse than undercutting them from a funding perspective. The right's always going to do that.
This is about stoking violence against
Yes,
Tucker Carlson.
I was about to say this. There's going to be a freaking shooting of a teacher soon.
Tucker Carlson is talking about you should thrash a teacher, and Glenn Greenwald's talking about Alex Morse and how the Democrats are the real anti-LGBT people. It's despicable.
Yeah, I know. It's like I saw that. I saw Glenn's only response.
Glenn's a Republican campaign operative.
Yep, his only.
I would love to fall in love with. Sorry to keep cutting you up, but I would love to fall in love with anything as fast as Glenn Greenwald falls in love with new ads from Peter Thiel-backed candidates.
Yeah, it seems almost instantaneous. Odd. Can't address the Republican, the active Republican resurgence of anti-gay, not just rhetoric but legislation. So when confronted about that, conservative reactionaries like Glenn Greenwald have to say, but what about the Democrats? It's like hypocrisy shaming is the only way for these guys to, like, deflect from this monstrous undertaking that's happening right now.
And the worst part of that was he said it was coming from the liberal left, which is, no, it's coming from the corporate center against a leftist challenger. Yep. But again, Glenn works against the left.
Yeah, that's what he's there for. I mean, again, teachers are inclined to pedophilia. A teacher's gonna die soon. A teacher is gonna get killed soon. I mean, this is really, really crazy stuff. Gay teachers are and trans teachers and queer teachers in general throughout the country are in danger right now because of this right-wing rhetoric. You know, this reminds me of the baby killer stuff from, what was that, O'Reilly?
Tiller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is about also encouraging LGBT teachers to retire or discourage them from getting into the profession at all. I have some David Mamet updates. I wasn't really familiar with his move to the right, so I looked it up a little bit. This is from 2012. In his new book, The Secret Knowledge on the Dismantling of American Culture, published last June, Mamet describes his late political conversion to conservatism and launches a scathing attack on the value system and way of life of those on the left. It's funny how much of this sounds exactly like it's 10 years ago. It sounds like it was written today. And then he writes, This sounds like it was written 10 years ago. The Israelis would like to live in peace within their borders. The Arabs would like to kill them all, he writes, as he sees it. The liberal West would like the citizens of Israel to take the only course which would bring about the end of the disturbing, quote, cycle of violence. That course is abandoning their homes and their country. Is this desire anti-Semitism? You bet your life it is. So that's just some of David Mamet's opinions.
That colors things.